The Lizard Colossus pack and Kinze multi-fruit planter pack, both by Chris and Riley S, are about to get some big updates, and I wanted to show them to you before they're released. First up, let's take a look at the changelogs. Completely ignore the fact that it thinks that Chris S and Riley S is spelled wrong. So this will be version 1.3 of the Colossus pack. We've got some chrome color corrections in the store icon, mass correction on the Colossus 8000. They've added a plow version of the Vineyard cultivator to work with contracts, support for Highlands fishing DLC. That means onions. Yes. They also added camera mirror functionality, which does require the Mercedes-Benz truck DLC, but all of the vehicles have cameras in them. It's pretty cool. And AI support for the Ultimate Pro baler. Now, we also have some new equipment as well. We have a new Colossus Quick Mix. This is a forge mixer, costs 50 grand, and has capacities between 35,000 and 1 million liters. And we've got the Kinze 4095 multi-fruit planter bag. This is changelog 1.1. More guide colors. They fixed the chrome color store icons. Mulcher and roller are now liftable, and we've got added onions from the Highlands DLC. So we'll start with the planter. It's a little bit easier to get through this update first. We've got onions, which have been added to the planter, and we also have one here for custom crops. The one for custom crops, this is added for mod maps. Maybe they've got alfalfa on the map. Well, alfalfa didn't work with these other two. Alfalfa works with this one. As long as you got custom crops that are added into the map, they'll be added to this planter and you'll be good to go. We also talked about the roller and the mulcher being liftable. Beforehand, you couldn't pick these up, but now you can because they weigh 100 kgs. Both of them do. So when you got them in the game, you could pick them up, move them around, do whatever you want to do. You are good. And here's our crop guide colors. Yeah. So of course, you got your standard in there, which we've got located, I believe, down here. Is standard one of these? I can't even remember at this point. But you also got red, green, blue, yellow, orange, purple, and pink. We're gonna go crazy pink with this, so be ready. So figured we could use a few things here. We got the JCB that came with the expansion a couple days ago. We've got JCB set up for the planter, and we're planting onions. I do have the DLC enabled. No, you do not get onions if you don't have it enabled. We're also running a 50-meter worker width here, so I decided we probably should set up a smaller field like this just so we could showcase that. Can we even do this? We can, can't we? We can set up a GPS with this. I'm totally doing it. Let's do it. Drop it down. Let's turn it on, and we will select that to go there. There you go. You do miss a little bit if you're not straight on. But how's about it? We are planting onions at 50 meters! Yeah! Onions are a little bit interesting in the way they grow. They will grow whichever way you are planting. So, be aware whichever way you plant. They're going to grow that way, man. Let's spin it around. I'm just using the GPS to do all this. It's fun. I'm using all this as well because we're going to have to harvest this. So I figured, well, we may as well plant it. And we'll go ahead and hit this little spot there at the end. There we go. And one last bit. So this is pretty sweet. If you didn't know, you can have onions on any map that you wanted, which is fantastic. As long as you have the Highlands DLC equipped. And I do. Which means the next thing we're going to show off is very cool, because this bad boy right here can now harvest onions. Oh yeah, we're gonna go a little bit out of order when it comes to the changelog to this, but I wanted to harvest the onions first. And we got two headers to go along with it. So we have the regular vegetable header and the vegetable header unrealistic. These are not new. You may notice these are still the exact same vegetable headers that we have had this whole time, but with the update, they will be supporting onions as well. So that is super duper cool. Yes, we are going to set this up to go 50-meter unrealistic. I think I'm going to go for a purple setup here. And, well, you can guess what color the combine or the harvester is. This also gives us a really nice opportunity to show you something cool that was added with these. Check that out. That, my friends, is a mirror. Well, mirror camera. It's this thing for sure. There you go. Now we can see into the back of it too. How cool is that? Rocking full time, doing great. So we've got our header here. Looks like everything is ready to go. I'm going to set this up with a worker as well. There that is. One of the most ridiculous pieces of equipment on earth. And I love it so much. Oh yeah, I haven't made the onions plant yet. Anyway, you can see with the cameras over here, zoom in a little bit. One of them is showing the very, is it the front edge? Side edge. It's over there. It's like facing that way. Is it? Yeah, it's like right there. What that's gonna do is that's gonna help you out when it comes to unloading, and then you can see everything in the back of it. So we'll come over here, hit my button once, and that should make them grow. Yep, there we go. And you can see these onions right here have grown this way all the way up to a certain point right here where they all grow that way. And that's kind of the way that I meant to do that. Let's go ahead and hit it again. Boom. They've grown up one more time. I think I should hit this 2 or 3 more times at this point. Let's see, we're in growth stage number 4 now. Hit it on number 5. There's that. And one more and they should be ready for harvest. Hit it again. There we go. I'm using the Grow Now mod, by the way, if anybody's curious. So, we're already down. Set the cruise. And go. And there it is. Onions are being cut, topped, and harvested all in one. And they're even running through the belt there. How neat is that? And there you go. You can see we are filling up with onions as we speak. Gonna go ahead and hit the gas on this a little bit. We did have to go for the unrealistic one here, the unrealistic header, but not too shabby. I wanted to get that 50 meter, and to go with that, well, it has to be a little bit more unrealistic. So right through there, we did 60,000 liters. Yeah, if you're not using this for onions, it's gonna take a while, man. But I guess you're not having as much fun doing all the things that you could possibly be doing, this and that. But you know what? It's still fun to do it this way. Just this small little patch right here has done pretty well. As a matter of fact, we're already at 35, 36. I can't keep up with it. There's 100,000 liters already of onions. It's wild. The DLC came out yesterday, and these mods are already ready to go. Some of them are already submitted. We're showing off a couple mods over the past couple days, so definitely make sure you check all of those out if you haven't already. We'll put down one of Schultz's selling points over here, the multi-selling station. I don't know, actually, if it accepts onions. I assume that it accepts onions. Yeah, sell everything, $601. About the median for what everything's being accepted here right now. We'll take a look and see just how much money we make off of all of this. About 100 grand, not too bad. So we've shown you the mirrors, at least on this one. Let's take a look at the mirrors on all of the equipment. So with these, I'm just gonna be buying the base model. I'm doing 0 customization whatsoever. That is not a vehicle. This is, though. But again, just to make sure you do have the Mercedes-Benz Trucks DLC once you get a hold of this update, or else you will not have the same mirrors, the cameras all the way around. But I think I just crashed the game. Nope, we're good. Also, I'm not going for anything that's unrealistic. If there's 2 versions of something, we'll just stick to the one. I think that's all the vehicles. Yeah, that's all the vehicles. So we have, what is that, 5 vehicles that have cameras that have been added to them, which is awesome. So, of course, you have seen this one, the original Colossus here. So we get everything unfolded. And then from there, we get that bit unfolded and we're good. I'm also curious where this other camera is located. So we're gonna put that in the middle of it and figure out what's in the middle of the front of this. It is literally the middle end of the pipe. All right, well, that's very cool. And when you get everything folded up, boop, pops back in. Take a look at the combine harvester. It is going to be located right over here. This little monitor, yeah. Forgot this has a train horn in it. With this one, we unfold and it's actually located inside of the green bin area. So that is very, very neat. No other cameras around here, though. The forage harvester, this has 2 cameras. So they're located right over here. So one of them is pretty simple. It is the rear hitch. However, the other one might be a little bit confusing. So when we said that, we unfolded, nothing happened. But if you pipe out, there it goes. Piping out will actually move it. So that is that. I don't remember, can you actually move the pipe individually? I don't know if I've ever tried. Well, at least on this you can't. So there you go. one's on the pipe and one's on the rear hitch. And as I've been doing, ramming into everything, yeah. Cotton harvester is located up at the top left-hand corner, right up there. And whenever we unfold, you can see it is raising up a little bit, and that is because it is located on the very, very back. And yeah, it's actually there. That is very cool. And you might actually be surprised to hear this, but the cameras are exactly where they're supposed to be. So, this one, well, this may be the only one that I actually don't know where it is. Here, I opened my mouth and I can't find this one. Let's see, I thought it was here on the side, but I think I saw something else. Nonetheless, let's see, we hop, skip, and a jump over here. So here's our camera there. So that's actually located in the place that it's supposed to be. If we come over here to our forage harvester, we've got the camera where it's supposed to be, and probably one of those little bits of bobs. It's right there on the very edge. That's where our camera is there. So your cameras are all where they're supposed to be. Of course, we showed this one right here, and one more, this poor little guy just hanging out. So here's our camera for this one, and this one is kind of interesting because you might think, oh, it's in the front. Well, no, because we already have a camera there. And it's just like a camera for us. This camera is in the very back. It is where the hitch would be. And let's see if we can find exactly where he's hidden the camera. Is that it? I don't know if this one's actually got a visible camera pod or not. There it is! I found it! You've been given away! Ha ha! Anyway, that's where the camera is. I also wanted to check and see if the cameras were there in the real machines, and it doesn't look like it, so these do look like they are just in there specifically for these mods. Well, I don't know. There's a camera right here on the olive harvester. Maybe not. Maybe some of them not. Either way, it doesn't matter. There's cameras where they're supposed to be. All right, well, I tried to do a test plot of grass so that I could show you the next thing because it's super awesome. However, in my thinking of trying to do a great job, I did not follow the instructions that I had laid out for myself. So I'm not quite sure how this next thing is gonna go, but I'll show you how to get around it. Because the Ultimate Pro Bell, whether you're using the unrealistic or realistic version, now supports AI workers. And as I was saying, I wasn't quite sure how we could run this. Well, you could run this up to 50 meters unrealistic working widths, which is absolutely fantastic. If you ask me, I'm gonna set mine to 5. I think that's probably good. And then I think maybe for the rest of it, we should be all right, but I'm gonna set maybe like a red crop guideline here, just so I can see where we're going. All right, for this one, I think I'm just gonna use the New Holland that we got in the most recent DLC. I think that's probably a good idea. Here we go, we got our worker set up for this one, and we'll bring it about right here. We're just gonna check this out. So we got our AI worker here. It is set to 5 meters, however, my mower was actually 9.9, but this wants to do 3 headlands, and I can't force it to do any less than that, which is rough because I did 1. So we're gonna follow him, work the headlands, start with the headlands. Okay, hire worker. We'll see how this goes. There is some grass that's outside of the field, and he may not even put it down until right here. I don't know, he's gonna put it right on the edge of the field. All right. Not too shabby. Cool beans. All right, that's what I expected. They only work inside the field, and well, that's what they're gonna do here as well. Let's see how they do whenever they get down to the very edge here. Probably Chris is like, oh, I hope they do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, me too, man, me too. All right, so it looks like he stopped right there, but it's because that swath there is not part of his guidelines. He's supposed to stop right there because the stuff there doesn't exist. So here's probably what I would do with this situation. I may run just the up and down with this guy. So find out what your up and down would be, and then let them run that. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, like I said, but the way that I did it, he's not gonna pick up. Remember, I'm the idiot in this situation, not the worker. The DJ is the AI, actual idiot here. Moving on! Of course, we talked about the mass correction on the 8000. We actually have a plow version of the Vineyard disc now. So this is actually plow, which is really, really cool. Of course, we've got the subsoiler versions of them and have had them for a while. But Here we go with this one. I guess we can run a 50-meter unrealistic. Pink guidelines. I think we should make this whole thing pink, shouldn't we? I think so too. Maui! So this is technically supposed to help you guys out with field contracts. So if you have a really, really big plowing contract, well, you can knock this out in a jiffy. So we're gonna bring it down here. We've got our guidelines left and right there. Here we go. Plowing up, cool beans, good to go. And if I turn on create fields, well, there we go, we're doing that too. So if you wanted something nice and easy, this just became the best plow in the game, literally. And of course, you can't forget about the new addition. We've got a forage mixer finally in this pack. Yes. So we have capacities of 35,000, 40,000, 45,000, 100,000, 250, 500, and 1 million liters. So you are able to choose how realistic to unrealistic you want it to be, which is great. There's no unrealistic version. It's just one version and everybody wins. As far as your wheel brands, you have a Continental, Trelleborg, BKT, Vredestein, Nokian, and Lizard. I said Lokian. Is that Loki? I don't know. I'm ready for some new Avengers, man. A couple different setups for each one of these. Love seeing those through there. And then, of course, you guys just saw the camouflage there, which I clicked accidentally. So it kind of debrands in a way, but kind of makes everything dark blue all at the same time. It blends in a lot. I think it's really neat. Your main color on here, of course, we are going to show off with a toothpaste. You know what? Let's not. Let's go with JTM red. It's pretty red right there. Let's go with our frame, and let's make that Harvest Moon silver down there at the bottom. Design color, I think we should definitely make that Maui pink. Where is that? Oh, that's the tub. Ooh, that is bright, baby. Another design here. We'll go Maui green on that one. Looks like we got some framing and things like there. Decals. Let's see. White. Yeah, that works. Inner rim color. Of course, we got to go with chrome here. I just don't know where chrome is. If I were chrome, where would I be? Aha! Chrome blackout. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah. And then maybe one more chrome? Regular chrome. I did not make this pretty. Actually, you know, it doesn't look too bad if you ignore the green and the pink. It says that it requires 240 horsepower. Here's a tractor. I think this has got 247, maybe 250, somewhere around there. I think we should be totally fine. Just like with all mixers, you could turn it on. We've got a left front unload. We've got a left right unload, and then a left right front right. And then we've got a left back and a rear back. I kind of wish we could do like all left side or all right side, but I do understand why you can. So we are going to go right front because I got a sell point up here, and I kind of wanted to get rid of that. Where's that pink? There's that pink. Looks like the balers finished as well. They finished with exactly what I thought they would. There's nothing to talk really about there. Yeah, it's a feed mixer. You fill it up with feed, all the feed you need. I'm doing this because I want to see how fast it unloads. I could care less about anything else. There's 90%, 85, 80, 75, 70. All right, so we're unloading at a pretty good clip here. Yeah, no complaints about the unload speed from DjGoHam. How's about that? Also, if you're curious how much a million liters of TMR makes you, about 364 grand. I would most certainly sell all the things in it individually. I don't know how, but TMR gets less valuable the more you mix in. And there you go. That is your updates to look forward to for the Lizard Colossus pack, as well as the Kinze 4095 multi-fruit planter pack, both by Chris S. and Riley S. Big shout out to those guys for sending these over to show you ahead of time. Been a big supporter of theirs, a big release partner of theirs as well for a couple years at this point, and I'm extremely grateful for them sending these over so I can show you, so that you can get hype. I'm hype. Everybody's hype. I was talking to Chris about this earlier today. I was like, you do know that like you make the mods that like I want. Like this, you can just put DjGoHam's version of blank and it would be these, but these are way better than anything I could ever imagine. So absolutely love them. I'm super pumped about them. Hopefully you guys are as well. If you like the video, drop a like, get subscribed if you're new, join the GoHam fam, double check your notifications, that way you never miss videos like this one ever. Hope you have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.